What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome to episode 3 of the Asia 8, here with Geylang United in the Singaporean League. So we are now entering the final leg of this season. Today is a live comp for you guys. This could go on for a while. We have 5 matches to play. 5 big matches, may I add. Looking at the league table, you can see it here. I'll get it up a little bit bigger. The league has now split. This episode I'm going to be doing 5 matches. This could go on for a good hour or so. So get comfortable, go to the toilet now, get a drink, get some food. And let's just delve straight into some Football Manager. So anyway, yeah, as I've said, 5 games left of the season. We play all the teams around us, and looking at the league's kind of standings at the moment, you can see here Tanjong Pagar, atop of the league. They have 11 wins, 10 draws and 1 defeat. That defeat came against us just a few games ago. Then it's DPMM, followed by Home United. DPMM are on 43 points, the same as Pagar, but they've actually played an extra game as of Home. Our first game in this kind of sequence of results is going to be against Pagar. If we can win that, we'll close the gap on them to 2 points with 4 games left. And as we enter this kind of final leg of the season, it's really worth remembering that all the teams, like fixtures now, are going to be against the top teams in this league. So there's certainly points to be won. And I do think that if we were to win every game in this run of results, which I think is going to be incredibly hard, we could be in with a very outside chance of actually winning the league. So anyway, let's get straight into today's game. You can see here, we do have home advantage. We've played against them twice already this season, 1 win apiece. We go in with a nice bit of form. Looking at our squad, going to be lining up with our standard 4-3-1-2, direct style of play, playing very narrow. We're going to try and grab more goals than them, and that is just our game plan. Score more goals than the opposition, see what we can do. So last time we played these guys, we actually went down twice to them before winning 3-2, which was an absolutely amazing game. I'm hoping for more of the same today as we go straight into today's game. I'm just going to be encouraging the players here. I do think we have an outside chance of winning. Pagar are a fantastic side, and it's going to be very tough to beat them, and I'm under no disillusions about that. If we do lose this, it's not the end of the world. I'm not expecting us to win the league this year. When I came to the club, we were in 6th place. We've had a really good start in terms of our league form, and if we can maintain that kind of form, there's no reason why we can't really push far up the table in this episode. Anyway, looking at this game early on, fairly 50-50 game. We've had slightly less of the possession. Tanjong with the ball here, spreading it out wide. They are really using the wings. We're going to have to watch out for that. Zerka here, hits it, hits the crossbar, get it out. Keeper saves the rebound. Good save by him. Hopefully we can now maintain this. We are going to need at least a win here, I think. If we want to win the league, as I've said, we have to win every game. I'm not expecting us to do that, but we do have a chance here. Balls forward, Diallo. He's been on form so far this season, and he's just had a P-roller of a shot. We are on extended highlights. Let's knock that down to key, because otherwise we're going to be here for 2 or 3 hours as opposed to the 1 hour that this episode should theoretically run to. But I mean, at the moment, we're looking okay, creating a few chances ourselves. Game has been fairly 50-50. It's interesting to see them using the wings. I'm definitely looking at that and wondering if I should maybe stretch my midfield a little bit wider. Diallo with a little run and shot there. Keeper did gather it quite nicely. But not a bad start. We are showing some attacking intent. These guys are the team to beat this season. Really, when I came to this club, I was more concerned with getting to the end of the season, building a squad in the off-season and just kind of taking it from there. As things have kind of transpired, the club's in a very, very good situation. Set for a record high finish in the league. We're only a few points off the teams at the top of the league, and I'm really hopeful that maybe, just maybe, we could go on and maybe shock a few people and win the league this year. If not next year, I think is certainly doable. Anyway, I'm really happy with 0-0 at the moment. These guys are, as I've said, the team to beat. We look good. Our system is looking fairly good. We are creating plenty of chances. We're also retaining a good amount of the ball considering how direct we play, which is good to see. Although they are on the attack here. Zerka running at us. He was good in the last game we played against them. He's threaded through their player. Keeper Salim with a save. Our keeper is a really good quality. I think he's made 1 appearance for Singapore's national side, and he's currently like their second choice keeper. But he has been really good for us so far this season, although I don't think we've kept a clean sheet yet, which is hardly surprising given the quality of our defenders, but it's maybe something to keep an eye on. Anyway, 40 seconds left. I'd certainly be happy with 0-0 here. This is definitely the toughest game of this episode, and if we could come away with a point, I'd be more than kind of past my expectations. Just got to defend well for the last few minutes. Time is trickling away. We've got an FM pointless highlight. At least I hope it's a pointless highlight and they're not going to score now, as I'm going to look like a right plonker. Zerka here running at our defence. He's probably their main man, really. Great tackle there. Let's just get the point now, guys. That's another quality tackle. There we go. 0-0. Bit boring. First clean sheet of the season, however, since I've taken over. And that's a good point. I'll take that point. We're still in 4th place. We are tied with Home United on points. Behind us, Ballista and Niigata Unicorn. What a name. Are 5th and 6th. And you can see they're kind of close behind us. So we are going to need to start winning those games, particularly the games against them. But I'll take a draw in the very first game of this season. So, that is our first Group A game played. I'm not going to do the attendances and attend the press conference. Just going to look at our team's performance, just get an idea of who performed. Hamid performed. I'm going to praise him for his last game. I always do this if a player has above a 7.5 average rating. Here it hasn't pulled off, but sometimes kind of my general rule of thumb is if a player gets above a 7.5 rating, if you praise them, more often than not they'll be very content with that. But no, good 0-0 draw. Only 1,000 people coming to watch the game. Out of curiosity, how big is our stadium? It is 3,500 seater, so there's certainly room for us to, I guess, increase the amount of people who come to our games, but that is the big game of this kind of episode done, and 0-0 is good. We set a new record for unbeaten games of 6 matches, which is a new club record, which is good to see. Already breaking a load of records since I've come to the club. We're set for a record high, which is also great. Looking at our team, I don't know if I'm going to make any changes for the next game. We've got it coming up tomorrow. We've only had a few days to prepare. This is a big game for us. We're playing against Home, who are the team who are in 3rd place. They're tied on points, but they're above us on goal difference. So hopefully, just hope maybe, we can give a good performance here and get a few points on the board. It would be good if we could do that. Looking at our side, condition-wise, Suleiman is struggling, so I'm going to make a change there and bring on Hamid. Everyone else looks fairly fit. Tom Beattie's struggling a little as well, but I'm not going to make that change, I don't think. We've got plenty of options on the bench. Jasny, you can come onto the bench as well for Hassan. And then I'm going to take off Jafar for Liam Shotton. It's nice having a few English players because I can actually say their names marginally well. Anyway, looking at the previous results against these teams, I can't actually tell you... Oh, actually no, because we are HGU FC. Okay, so we've only won one of the 3 matches against Home. I think that was actually a 6-1 win if I check, but we also lost in the cup against them. Yeah, we lost in the cup against them 3-1. Then in the league we won 6-1 away. Hopefully we can replicate that level of performance. Diallo on that night got 6 goals, or 5 or 6 goals. I think it was 5, but we got 6 in total. So I'm hopeful that we can do something well here. I'm going to just tell the guys good luck out there tonight, and then I'm going to tell the midfield I have faith. It's going to be tricky. It is going to be tricky. Team Talk's always hard as well because I am on Sunday League experience, obviously. Started unemployed. I'm going to be trying to build up my reputation. We have a chance here. Hamid, get the ball in. Bury that. Zays is there. 1-0. Great start. That's his 3rd league goal of the season. He's got a few since I've been in charge, and that is a great start to this season and this match. So as I mentioned, yeah, I'm set to Sunday League, which means that team talks aren't as easy because the players don't respect you as much. But the aim of this series really is going to be to kind of build up that reputation by winning a number of leagues in Asia and hopefully, you know, winning a major domestic competition. Home United, even though I think that was Ui Young. Is that how you pronounce it? Oi Young? UI? I don't have a clue. Don't use that in the English language. I'm just an oblivious English twit. Oh god, I just called myself a twit. I sound like such an... Oh dear. I forgot how bad keepers were in the lower leagues. Salim, you're an international level goalkeeper who just didn't catch a ball. He palms it into his side netting. I can't complain. I knew that this was what I was letting myself in for when I went to these lower leagues. It's just a little bit annoying when your keeper doesn't even make an effort. Show me something else in the second half. I want to motivate them. Don't look stressed. I'd look stressed if I was our keeper, though. He's been crap. Looking at the stats here, we are actually creating more chances than home, which is good to see. I'm hoping that we can maybe get a goal early on here, but at the same time, it's a little bit unlucky. I might look to make some subs, perhaps cast an eye over the rating. Salim again, not able to get on that. I'm making changes. Something has got to give here. At the moment, we are not playing well. I'm going to bring on Jerome Baker, stick him as a target man, and hopefully this will work in our favour. We're going to go a little bit more attacking, throw a few more men up the field, I think, and see what we can do. We've got to go for it now. Going to stick with our direct style of play, stick a third out-and-out forward on, go a little bit more attacking. And hopefully our team can pull through here, although chance is still flying towards our goal. 3-1 down. Going to need an amazing comeback. Apparently we're struggling to cope with the numbers in midfield. Ref, he is off. Surely, Jantan, you should be off for that. That was disgusting. He is off. We have a chance in this. I'm going to switch to very rigid and overload. The reason I do this, and someone asked actually the other day, like, oh, you play rigid and roam from position, why? What the difference between kind of roam from position is how likely a player is to move out of position. Sounds kind of obvious. With rigid, it's how accurately players play to their player instruction, kind of support, attack, defend. So these defenders set to very rigid, even on overload, will stay and defend. The players on support will be more inclined to attack because they're set to overload, and support is a lot more based off what your players' instructions are set to be and your mentality. On the flip side, if you were to play it standard, that means that whatever the kind of instruction that you've given the player in terms of their mentality, they will stick to that mentality, and that will basically represent how they play. So if I was to play standard on this, it would mean that these guys play on defence, these guys play on support, these guys play in attack. Sounds kind of obvious, but just a little tip there. That's what the difference between kind of fluidity and mentality is, and their relation to player roles. So anyway, we now have to take our opportunity here. They've had a player sent off. We've been given a gift. They've actually got a chance here. Sedan, through on goal. He hits the post. Get that out. That is a lifeline. If we were to go 4-1 down, that would probably be the end of the game. As it stands, we live to fight another day, or in this case, another 30 minutes. With a chance to get back into this. Although they're on the attack again, defend this, that will do. Give an offside, that was a let-off. But we now need to convert our dominance and our extra man and make it count for us. I think they'll be playing with one up front. I'm pretty sure they've switched to one up front. So, to make amends for that, what we're going to do... Oh God, I need to think about this. Hamid, you're going to go to inside forward. Oh wait, you can't play inside forward as centre attacking mid on this game. Derp. Attack. Right. Then I'm going to move Serena into centre back. We're just going to go for it. Why not go for it? We need 2 goals. They're down a man. Hopefully we can do something here. I hope. See, I've got to throw men forward at this point. That's the problem. We're going to draw just a pretty pattern here. I'm going to go with inside forward and then deep line forward set to support. The idea here is that Mazilan will drop into this little gap here and Dickerson will run off him. So I'm hoping that's going to work for us. I'm also going to switch Diallo to a false 9. Hopefully he can suck in maybe some of their defenders to come short and leave Baker and Mazilan free in the centre. Really got to go for it now. 10 minutes left. Just got to throw everything but the kitchen sink at them in a desperate attempt to get back into this game. However, doesn't look like it's going to happen today, unfortunately. Not long left. This is the end of our unbeaten run. Pretty unfortunate. Home United are a good team in this league. Looks like they're going to be pulling away from this. It's going to be tough for us to now overtake them in the league. Although we do have a chance here. Dickinson going to be cleared. Surely that's going to be the game. Yeah, that will be it. Unfortunate on the day. Looking at the stats, we were the better side for by and large, based on chances created. Just failed to make that dominance count in terms of in goals. Oh, okay, now I've pissed off everyone. Let's just tell them I'm not happy. I'm not happy. Oh shit, I hit very happy. I give up. I'm just running away. No doubt there'll now be a player, because the players don't respect me as much, who comes out publicly and criticises my team talk. The disadvantages of being a Sunday League reputation manager. I just love the idea that there'd be like a Sunday League like player in England who just writes to a load of teams in Asia suggesting that they employ him as their full-time manager, and they actually consider someone and give him the job based off his credentials. So anyway, now based on those two games, my big aim is to cement a top 4 finish. We have got to play obviously Belstier and I can't remember who the other team was now. It was the Unicorns team, who are 5th and 6th. If we can beat them, we'll stand a chance of finishing the top 4. I think we've actually slipped down. We've slipped down behind Belstier because we threw away the result at home United. I'd be worried if we threw up, and that was the reason we dropped down the table. But no, not ideal. Not ideal. I mean, I knew it was going to be tough against home United. I'm just a little bit annoyed because it just felt like none of our strikers really turned up on the day. So we have 6 days until our game. At least our players have had a nice long rest to get fit, particularly in the lower leagues with the lack of a fitness coach and players just generally having worse natural fitness. It can be tough to keep, like a full strength 11 kind of team, 11-man team kind of core squad thing. Brain's not working. Jack, wake up. Wake up, Jack. Okay, what I was trying to say, I've composed myself now, is it's nice in the league to be able to keep a kind of starting 11 the exact same. And in these lower leagues, because you don't have the fitness coach, because players have worse natural fitness, you are more inclined and more kind of, pressured to rotate your squad in order to ensure maximum fitness. And because of that gap, I'm able to kind of stick with my starting 11, which I deem to be my best starting 11. There we go. Brain finally back in gear. Looking at the game, Jasny is actually injured. These last few games might give me a chance to try out some new systems, which is actually what I'm going to do here. Why not? Let's just try something slightly different. Got nothing really to lose here. I'm going to try a 4-2-4 in many ways. I'm going to play with wingers set to support though. And then we're going to bring on Jafar, and we're also going to bring on Dixon. Both these guys prefer to be wingers set to attack. But because my mentality's set to attacking and I'm set to rigid, this means that they'll play slightly more attacking than a standard support player. So they're kind of semi-playing attacking anyway. And we'll also go with BT as a deep line playmaker. I think that's going to be the best bet for us here. Squad looks fairly decent now in terms of shape. We have quite a lot of versatility in our side in terms of, how we can play. So we're going to try out this system, see how we get on today. This is now providing me with a good opportunity these last 3 games to really just play around with the system. I want to get a match plan in kind of fruition, which I can use next year. Obviously, the 4-3-1-2 is one option, but I do have 2 very good wide players, and it'd be nice if we could maybe stretch teams out a little bit wider, mix up our game slightly. I am still playing set to narrow. The reason for this being is that the pitches are fairly small anyway, and just in general, teams in our league play very narrow anyway, and it's a bit of a waste, particularly when defending, to have players sat out wide. So yeah, we'll see how we get on today. If we win this game, we will leapfrog Belstier back into 4th place. Dixon here, whipping the ball, whips it in. Jafar there, exploiting the space. That is exactly what I wanted. Just trying out the wider options. It's all about experimentation now, this. You guys get to see exactly what I'm up to. In terms of the board's expectations, they expected us to kind of consolidate our position in the league, I believe, or, just a mid-table finish, which is exactly what we're on par for. Top 4 would surpass their expectations, which would be great. But ultimately, I'm not going to worry too much about where we finish in the league, as the prize money isn't a massive thing in this league, and I'm just up for kind of trying out some new things. Anyway, they've totally missed a sitter there. Salim actually able to catch a ball in today's game, which is lovely to see. And it looks like at the break we are going to go in 1-0 up. Looking at the stats, we've had more of the ball, we had more shots on target, and we're playing very well. I'm very happy with your performance. Keep it up, lads. Geylang FC might even make some real rotation options in the next few games. just to kind of try out stuff. Maybe in the last game especially, give a few reserve players a chance. Diallo there, just straight offside, did a ricochet against the crossbar. Good effort by him, trying to break through that defensive line. Jafar's taken a knock, or he's not taken a knock, he's just decided he no longer wants to walk. We'll bring on Hamid. One problem with playing this wider option is I don't have wide players on the bench. Which means I do have to kind of mix up my tactical system a little when it comes to, attacking and when making changes like in this instance. But anyway, looking at the side, we're still performing fairly well. 30 minutes left to cling on here. They're still creating a fair few chances, but this system seems to be working for us. I love just experimenting in Football Manager, especially in these weird leagues. You're really able to let your mind run wild in terms of how you want your team to play. And so far so good, just trying out some new systems here. Next year my aim is to win the league. I feel like this season so far, with the exception of kind of the last two games really, we've played really well, and we're kind of impressed me to the stage where I kind of feel like maybe one or two more players in, perhaps get rid of a few bits of dead wood in the side, we could definitely challenge for the title. Obviously the team is in a state of, transition, because I've come in, I've brought in a few of my own new players. I'm still trying to work out what system I want to play, and I've been asked a few times on FM what's the best system to play to achieve X. I did a video on FM13 talking about kind of how I choose my tactics, but you really have to work with the players that you have at your disposal. So you saw in the very first episode I didn't have too many defenders, so I stuck free at centre back. And whilst that was playing to the player's strengths, there is also an element of kind of common sense involved, I feel, when picking out a tactic. I was able to identify that free at the back wasn't working. The reason I was playing free at the back was because I lacked quality fullbacks, but in playing with three centre-backs and two of them being absolutely terrible, it was probably putting me in a worse situation than if I was to play four at the back. So anyway, 2-0 in the end. That is a good win for us. Who got this second goal? I believe... and now I'm going to be completely wrong, but I believe it was Maisland with the goal whilst I rambled on. That result sees us climb to 4th in the league. Looking at the title, we're still in touching distance. Pagar, 47 points. Now you'd expect them to pull away, but the league is still very close and up for grabs here. 2 games left. Kind of surprised how close it is. We do have DPMM in our next game. They're not a bad side. They did get absolutely destroyed 3-0 in their last game, however, against the Unicorns. And that's seen Home United climb into second. So there's definitely places to play for. If we win today's game, we'd leapfrog DPMM, which would be great. Actually, looking at it realistically, we could still win the league. However, Pagar just need 1 point to make it near impossible for us to leapfrog them, because our goal difference just isn't very good. But anyway, really good result. Happy with how that system worked, despite the odd changes I had to make. It's just about experimenting, as I said, trying something different. The 4-4-2 could be a more conventional option to go with. I mean, I've promised the board I'm going to play direct football. I'd love to be able to just play a real direct attacking form of football where we score loads of goals. But obviously, it's all very easy for me to be like, oh, I'd love to play this. But realistically, we have to realise that. Oh God, I hate clicking on press conferences by accident. I can't multitask with press conferences. I can't read and talk at the same time. It's terrible. I can't even remember what I was saying now. Brain's gone dead. It's the problem with these live comms. I do them in one take and I refuse to edit them. And so there is guaranteed to be a moment of derpiness involved. But anyway, you can see here, looking at the league table, we are in 4th, DPMM just ahead of us. They're expecting to line up with a 5-3-2, which is a little bit interesting to see. If they're only going to play with 2 up front, I might... No, I can't. I was going to say I might stick one of these guys slightly higher up, but that's just suicidal. Hamid is injured for this game, so we are going to need to make a change there, which is a shame. We've got Hanafai, who isn't a bad player, who we can bring on. Hamid, since he's joined the club, he came in on a free transfer. He's made 6 appearances for us, averaging a 6.28 average rating. Been a good little transfer for us, really. Came in as a little bit of backup strength. And so far so good for him. I do have to stick a defender on the bench, and we have to go with Johnson Chia here, because we don't have any other options really, which is a little bit of a shame. But look at the squad. Fitness isn't perfect, but I'm pretty sure we can make things work here. We'll see how we get on. In terms of the actual squad, very happy with the players at our disposal. And yeah, we'll just see how we get on here. It's going to be a tricky game. They're actually lining up with a 3-5-2 as opposed to the wing-backs. That does leave me slightly worried that we might be outnumbered in midfield, but I do hope that kind of with our quartet up front, we might be able to outnumber their three at the back when we are going forward. So anyway, we'll see how we get on today. Give the fans something to cheer for. Calm, pressure's off tonight. I'm going to tell all the players pressure's off tonight. Let's get them relaxed. You are feeling very sleepy. Just get a hypnotist in or something. What the hell am I on about? Brain not working today. Anyway, let's see how we get on. DPMM at home. This isn't going to be an easy tie. Last time we played these guys, we drew 2-2 with them, so I've certainly got expectations and hope that we can maybe pull away. They're playing with a hell of a lot more men in midfield than us, but we are going to be trying to outnumber them, just all in the final third. And I'm hoping with our direct style of play, we might be able to cut out their midfield. And I say I hope, because it's totally backfired and they've gone 1-0 up already. Not ideal. We're actually going to make a change immediately. I'm going to bring Jafar and Dixon in, just into the midfield area. They're not as adept at playing this area, but we just need to kind of, I guess, just have a few more men sat back, helping out the midfield here, because otherwise we are at real risk of being outnumbered. Hopefully we can create an opportunity here, passing it round the back, got our players out wide, just trying them out. BT here, inside, Dixon with the header, Mazilan, rocket header, given offside, good effort though, good to see us working out the opportunity. You can see DPMM really dominating possession and dominating the chances. Hoping our changing system is going to rectify that. I guess time will tell here. Hopefully we can get a little bit more of the ball. We are of course playing a direct style of play, and so I know that we're inclined to lose the ball from the long balls, but it'd be nice if we could just get a little bit more of the possession. Good tackle there, get the ball out. Now can we hit on the counter? They have two at the back. This is our chance. Diallo, the pacey Guinean, chips the keeper. What a poor finish. That is not the Diallo that was playing in the regular season before the league split. We've been a little bit unlucky and a little bit poor up front recently. We went through a phase when I first came to the club in the league where we scored 6 one game, 5 the next, 4 the next. We couldn't stop scoring. And I kind of feel like our strikers have fallen out of form. Just a little. May look to change who we have up top at half time. But anyway, keeper made a really good save there. Potential counter attack on here. Aziz is running down the wing. I swear he's a centre back. He's lost. He doesn't know where he is. It doesn't matter though. Diallo's there. The Guinean. He's offside again. He needs to watch his line. Rage against the machine, or against Diallo in this case. Take a sip of this water. Oh, it's so hard talking for this long. I say we're pleased. We're only 1-0 down and they all flip out. I hate team talks in this league. I've got to get used to them. I'm in this mindset where I'm just pissing everyone off. Let's just leave. It's entirely my fault if we lose this now. I'm so used to doing team talks where I'm set to automatic reputation, and this just means that your reputation is scaled with that of your club, and your kind of players respect your team talks and all that stuff. And at the moment, all I seem to do is piss everyone off with them. Oh God, what was that? That back pass was something special. System change time. But here's the plan, men. We are going to go more attacking, because why not? Yeah, why not? Let's go with a 3-3-4. Gotta invert the pyramid, as they say. That was terrible, Jack. That didn't even make sense, that joke, and no one's going to get it. Let's see what we can do here. Let's go with you. Ball in midfielder, set to support, deep line playmaker, advanced attack. Let's see how we go on. We've got to go for this now. Let's just throw men forward. Hopefully we can outnumber their men in midfield with this new system. I guess time will tell. 4-4-2 really hasn't worked for us since we switched to it. Not enough of attacking presence, and what a finish by the guy whose name I cannot say, and he does not look like he's from Singapore either. Well, I want to blame my keeper for letting in a few goals, but that is certainly one that I can't blame him for. DPMM are teaching us a lesson here, and it's a painful lesson at that. 3-0, Please don't concede again. If we could get a consolation, that would be great. Our strikers have been terrible, has to be said. What are these ratings? 5.6. Get off the field. I'm just replacing a left winger with a striker because, I mean, why not? Not ideal. Not a good performance by any stretch of imagination. We actually have a chance here. Jafar, you've been terrible all game and you're still terrible. He was about to redeem himself, but no, he couldn't do it. But anyway, 3-0, not ideal. Hopefully we can just get the ball out now and not concede. Or we can concede again, that's fine. 4-0. That was crap. Well, maybe this is a bit of a reality check that maybe we're not ready. Admittedly, my attacking tactic is somewhat suicidal, but we did need to get 3 goals. That was poor. Defensively, we're just not there. At 1-0 down, it wasn't too bad, but then when you concede a second goal by giving them the ball with that kind of back pass, you're always asking for trouble. Looking at the league here, we could be leapfrogged by Belstier. Who have they got in their last few games? They've got Home and Pagar, so hopefully they can screw up against them as they are 2 of the better teams. Our last game is against the Unicorns. Hopefully they lose their next game, fingers crossed, and that will leave us in a slightly better position. But all in all, really disappointing. 1 game left of the season. Definite reality check. There are going to be big changes happening over the summer. I can assure you guys of that. I'm really going to be looking to put my own stamp on the team and really get rid of any dead wood, get rid of players on stupid wages, because that's certainly a problem we have. If I just show you contracts, there are some players that just are on too much. Players like Liam Shotton, he's just not very good considering his wages, like in kind of the scaling with the rest of the team. And then in the reserves, we just have so many players here who probably shouldn't be here because they're all just eating a little bit of the wage individually. To be honest, a few of their contracts run out in a year. There's also a few that run out soon. Hopefully I can get rid of that dead wood, fingers crossed. And then hopefully some of these youth prospects might actually be decent whenever regen day is in Singapore, because I have no idea. So anyway, big plans ahead. We have dropped to 5th, so Belstier did get 1 win. Does mean going into this last game, if we want to finish top 4, we are going to need to beat the Unicorns. And even then, that might not quite be enough. A little bit disappointing. Not ideal, but I don't know. I want to say that we've been unlucky, but realistically we've just not been very good. I'm really hoping that we can overturn this deficit now and get the win that we need, really. It's been a really disappointing episode. At the end of the regular season, we were playing so well. I was very optimistic of the players that we had. Optimistic and hoping that we could definitely get something from this game. And simply put, it's been unbelievably disappointing. It's been a bit of a wake-up slap. This series I knew was going to be a long one. I was really hopeful and optimistic that we could either win the league this year off a real outside chance or maybe muster something up next year. But this has certainly made me realise perhaps this is going to be a longer project than I first anticipated. Looking at the games left, the best we can do is finish 5th, unfortunately, which is a real shame. If we lose today, we would lose our place. So we're really playing to get 5th today. I'm going to switch back to our regular system, I think. I think that is the first bit of, I guess, tactical changes that need to be made here. We'll change the attacking midfielder to attack. I feel like sulking now, like a little kid. It's not been ideal, put it that way. I might change our front too. Just not been very good last 5 games. We'll give Jerome Baker and Shotton a run out there. Play Amir at centre attacking mid. See how they get on. Zays is injured at centre back. That's another centre back injured for us. We are running very low on centre backs now. 3 centre backs, all injured. This means I have to play with a player with a silver star at centre back. Oh dear. That's terrible. Dear. Oh, I'm running out of centre backs. The injuries have been fairly unfortunate at the back. I want to blame them entirely for our kind of slump, but realistically that is not at all an excuse. We'll see how we get on anyway today, sticking with the same instructions as always. Hopefully we can just do well here. A draw would be good enough for us to get fifth. Ultimately, as I've mentioned at the start of the video, the club's never finished above 7th, so this is still a record high for the team. This is a team who really are a mid-table to bottom half team, never really succeeded too much in their 20-odd year history. I'm really hopeful that we can change things. We've got a long project ahead. I am really wanting to win the Singapore League before I go anywhere else. In terms of reputations, the quote-unquote worst leagues in Asia are India, Singapore, Malaysia and Indonesia. They're the leagues I want to get done first, because then I've got to go to China, Australia and South Korea. And there's one more which I can't think of at this moment in time. Oh gosh, the Asia 8. I'm sat here working out in my mind. The cogs are whirling in my brain and there is just no name coming to my mind. Either way, I'd like to get the lower leagues done to begin with, and then hopefully whatever team I end up with at the end of the series, try and win the Champions League with them. But anyway, at the moment, 0-0. The Unicorns are dominating. Hayashi there misses a chance. That was easy, says the commentator. I'm actually going to switch to counter. Why not? Let's just try and hit them on the break here and see how we get on. Sometimes defence can be the best form of attack, particularly in these games where you're not having the most of the ball and they are creating a lot of chances. Just hit them on the break. We've got pace up front, we've got strength up front. Hopefully those players can do something for us, although we are in Singapore. There is going to be stupid decisions and stupid stuff happen with our players. If you're one of these people who manages the higher league players all the time in FM, there'll be stuff that you see in this series which you've never seen anywhere else, because it really is spectacular when your star striker in Malaysia has kind of 5 finishing or whatever. But we do have a chance here. Amir bury that. He does bury it. Makes it 1-0 against the run of play. 3rd goal of the season for him. My decision to include him in the side, he's not been playing too well, but my decision to give him a run out and give him a chance is going quite well. Seruddin is struggling, so we're going to make a change. We'll bring on Suleiman, and hopefully he can do something for us. But 1-0 at the break, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with how things are going. Keep it up. Hopefully we can maintain this. It'd be great if we could get a win here, just to get 3 points on the board, close the gap on the teams above us so the league looks slightly closer when we look at it at the end of the year. Ultimately, as I mentioned at the start, a draw would be good enough here to cement us a 5th place finish, although I'd love to get a few more goals. Got a chance here. Baker, Shotton's in the centre. Baker's like, I do not need your help, sir. Buries it. Great goal by the Canadian. Cool collective, composed finish, and he has just done the most over-the-top celebration ever. But nevertheless, looking at the stats, got right back into this game, hitting them on the counter. It would appear the Unicorns are really pushing extra men forward, and we're just hitting them on the break. Baker's here again. Go on, Baker. Just go on, you Canadian. Be selfish. He loses the ball. He's not good enough. Never be selfish again. We'll see how we get on though here. Working the ball around really nicely. Amir gets tackled. Can the keeper do something crazy in our favour? No, he can't. They're probably going to score now. Hoping for their keeper to do something very eccentric. Is that a word? I don't know. They've got a chance here. Their player misses a sitter there. That's a bit of a let-off. 20 minutes left. Let's make some changes. Maisalan, you can come on for Amir. And we'll bring off Hamid for... I don't have another centre mid. For Dixon. Dixon, just go play centre mid, son. Go and have some fun there. I'm kind of thinking now for my plan for the winter off-season about what I'm going to do. Obviously, one advantage of being in Asia is the fact that the seasons are very short, and this means that I can keep the ball rolling on these saves. Which actually works out quite nicely from a video making perspective, because it can get a little bit draggy on when you're commentating over, say, a Brazil season where you have 80 games and there's like 20 episodes a season. In this series, we can really keep the ball rolling. But anyway, hopefully we can make this pressure count, get one more goal. Let's make things sure. Shotton's here. Bury that, you English beast. He does bury it. Makes it 3-0. Good performance. Good result. Very happy man. Hopefully we can take a little bit of momentum from this, a little bit of heart. Unfortunate in the end against DPMM in the previous game, but we're certainly showing that we are no pushovers and that we do have the character to bounce back in games and get some big results against teams in a similar position to us. What are you two doing? Bloody hell, I told you you'd see stuff that you never see in FM usually. But we do have another chance here. Let's make it 4. Player intercepts. 1 minute left on the clock. Maislan here. Thread through Shotton. Hits it. 4-0. Not sure what their keeper was doing. I'm not going to complain. Great goal. 5th goal of the season for Shotton. Been out injured for a while but has struggled to find the net. And good to see him get on the score sheet there. So all in all, really impressive performance here. You've got to bear in mind that we are playing against teams who last season finished above us. We are not anticipated to do as well as we have this year. Has been a set of really impressive performances. I'm very pleased with the result in your performance. Looking at the league table, Pagar did win the league, 1 point ahead of DPMM, but the league was unbelievably close. Ultimately, we finished 3 points off the team who won the league. That's pretty crazy. There's not many leagues where you'd see 3 points separate first to fifth. And despite our not so good goal difference, I certainly have some optimism for the coming season. So anyway, we did perform above expectations. 25k has been spread amongst the squad. Shotton has ended his goal drought of 13 matches. Really good performance by the guys. And yeah, guys, I've got a lot of work to do in this off-season. Hopefully you guys are looking forward to that next episode where I will talk about what I've done in the off-season. Should be a good one. I'm hoping I can bring in a lot of fresh faces and stuff. So yeah, that wraps things up for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching as always. Hopefully you enjoyed this LiveCom longer episode. Wasn't actually as long as I anticipated, but something a little bit different. Brain wasn't in full function in order for the entire of it, but hopefully you enjoyed regardless. If you've got any comments about the save, anything like that, be sure to leave them down in the comments. I always read them, I always check them out, and reply to the comments that need replying to. So yeah, thank you very much, guys. If you did enjoy, leave a like on the video. And other than that, guys, it is me, Jack, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.